This is the danger of burnout, when you're overwhelmed, you're exhausted, you're frustrated, and you keep letting that happen. And it's amazing what happens when we allow this overwhelm to continue in our lives and we don't do anything about it. We let frustrations get to us and we don't have conversations about what's really going on. We have a lot of doubt and we never take any action to do something about it. And what happens is burnout happens when all of a sudden our willpower takes over from what we're feeling in our own mentally and physically. And we keep just kind of pushing through, we keep pushing through. And we're all like, oh man, we got to get to the finish line. Well, if your body is telling you, excuse me, your body is telling you it needs to rest, you need to allow it to rest. If your mind is exhausted and you've just worked an 8-hour day, working another 4 hours, you're not going to get anything more done outside of you think you are. So it's amazing when we think about burnout is when you start to notice these things, is to recognize it and allow yourself to take those breaks. One little exercise you can do for yourself is every hour on the hour, take a short little break. Take a little rejuvenation. It can be closing your eyes such that you give your eyes a break from screen time. You can do some jumping jacks to get your body moving again. You might think this is funny, but you know what? When you start taking breaks every hour on the hour, it allows you to rejuvenate and get that energy back. Because when we don't, the dangers of burnout are real. It's mental exhaustion and it's physical exhaustion. And you know what? One day off isn't going to be sufficient. One vacation is not going to be sufficient. When you are in a state where you're overcoming and you're using your willpower more and more, and you do this for more than 6 weeks, burnout happens. And you know what? When you're a high achiever, you can stay working in burnout for a long time. But you know what? The consequences of burnout are real. I had such mental and physical exhaustion that I ended up at a beach in Mexico and I could barely see. My body barely wanted to move, and my cognition was so far off that I couldn't think straight. I never ever want anybody to get to this point. It's up to you to recognize the symptoms of burnout and to stop it in its tracks. I'm Lora and I'm ready for you to join me on an adventure.